right, continuing to stick with the theme of today of having a great time on a budget. Just went to a little local spot here. I saw a bunch of locals eating there, so figured I'd give it a try. I tried out this like melon juice stuff. I don't remember what it's called, but it was absolutely delicious. It was basically a milk tea with like some lychee in it, and that was 15 pesos. And then I tried this. Well, I haven't tried it yet, but I believe it was called kikiam. Got a pork steam bun and this little like rice cake thing, like a boiled rice cake basically with sugar on the outside. It all looked absolutely delicious. It's all hot and fresh. So I'm going to give this all a try. Total cost of everything was 110 pesos, so just under $2. I was planning to eat in like the center square there, but there's like an outdoor Pilates type class going on. So it's extremely loud. I think I'm still gonna go eat there because I don't know where else there's just a bench around. But I gotta give this all a try and then give, you know, a thorough review as I do. Also, I apologize once again for my horrific pronunciations of everything. Because, yeah, I'm not very good at that, but hey, I try my best. All right, first up, I'm gonna try the kikiam, the fried fish with some sort of sweet, spicy sauce on it. As usual, it's fire, it's banging. I honestly wouldn't have been able to tell you there's fish in this because it's like, I don't know, made into some sort of breading dough, but it's very tasty. It's very cheap. Definitely recommend giving this a try. All right, next up we have the steamed pork bun, and it has this little sweet sauce to go with it, which you already know this is gonna be good. You can't mess up a pork bun. As expected, it's fire. I honestly don't think it needs a sauce because it's delicious on its own, but we have it, so we might as well try it. The sauce is good, but it's a little bit too sweet for my liking. The pork bun on its own is absolutely delicious. All right, last but certainly not least, we have this rice cake thing for dessert. Let's see how it is. So, I like it overall, but you put a little too much sugar on it. The actual like little rice patty cake thing, I like it. I like the texture of it, but there's just a little bit too much sugar on it. I would get it again. I just ask for just a tiny bit of sugar. Aside from that, though, it's pretty good. Well, I made some friends while I was there filming dinner. There's a bunch of school kids hanging out in that little square area, and they all started chatting with me and asking my name, where I was from, and all that. So I was hanging out with them while I had dinner, but making my way up to the hostel now to get all the drone footage from Frederick, because that is going to be the highlight of this video. So we need to go get all that transferred before he heads out tomorrow morning, and then yeah, then we'll be on our own here in Coron for the next few days, which will be great. It'll be good to have some days to relax and just hang out. Well, I think that'll just about do it for today. Gonna get this drone footage and get some rest tonight. So this morning started out a little bit different than anticipated today. There's no power on the island today, so no AC, charging, Wi-Fi, any of that stuff. And here at my hostel, the water isn't working because they have water pumps or something, and the power being out then means no water. So I started to shower this morning, but then the water that was in the line ran out, and I was just covered in soap and had to try to wipe that off me with my towel. And yeah, so that's how this morning is starting, but that's part of the fun, the adventure of backpacking. Still here at the hostel, get my stuff packed up. Gonna go explore for a little bit. My ferry's not until 9 p.m. tonight, so got the whole day to kill. I'm gonna be sweaty, I'm gonna be gross, but hey, that's how it goes. That's the fun of backpacking, what can I say? Alright, I'm beginning my journey out of Coron today. Just got to ride to the ferry port. Got to pop into the ferry terminal office really quick to actually get my physical ticket, and then I will be able to go get in line to board the ferry. So my ticket has been acquired, but unfortunately they said the time online and the time on the ticket is wrong. It's supposed to depart at 9 p.m. At least that's what the ticket says, but I guess it's not actually departing until 10 p.m. So have like an extra hour to kill, but I'm probably just gonna hang out here at the terminal area because I don't feel like walking around with my bags a bunch, and you know, I just showered and it's gonna be a 20-hour ferry, so just gonna hang out. So now I've got about an hour to kill until boarding and 3 hours to kill until departure, but that's okay. I think the waiting area is just outside of this building here. Been hanging out in the terminal here. They're going around saying something, so I think maybe we're starting boarding. It's not quite 8 o'clock yet, but I don't know. They're starting to direct people, so I think maybe we're boarding. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing. They had us like put all our bags out there in a row, which I don't know why, because like you keep your bag with you on the ferry, so I don't know if it's some kind of security thing or something, but my bag's sitting behind me there, and so they're sitting here waiting to board, I guess. Another half hour or so. I'm not really sure. Guess we'll find out. Not gonna lie, that was slightly confusing. They had us get up, stand in line with our bags, then they had us put our bags down in line, sit down. We sat down for like 5 minutes, then they had us get up, get our bags, and start boarding. So it's only like 7:30 right now, and they said boarding was gonna be at 8, so I don't know, that's a little bit confusing, but all I know is we are on our way onto the boat. This one's even cozier than the last ferry. Things are even tighter, the bunks are closer together, and seems slightly smaller, but thankfully I'm on a bottom bunk here, so the top bunks, I feel like I would like roll off of them, so I'm glad I have a bottom bunk here, but just made it on. I'm gonna be hanging out for a while, I think, before we leave, but so far so good. As of right now, there's a ton of empty bunks, so if it stays that way, I might move down that way a little bit because everyone's kind of consolidated in this one area right now, and if there are a bunch of empty bunks down that way, it could be nice to like not be around so many people. It might be a little bit less noisy at night, but yeah, I think we have about 2 hours to kill before actual departure, so we'll be hanging out a while. But good morning from the ferry. It is about 6:30 right now. There's a beautiful sunrise behind me there. Slept pretty well last night. Woke up a few more times than I expected, but overall slept well. There's some breakfast being served right now, so I'm gonna get up and get that, have a little snack, and then still have like 12 hours to go on the ferry, or even more than that, so still a long ways to go. This boat is surprisingly a decent bit smaller than my last one. There's only 3 rows of bunks between the side of the boat. On my last one, there's probably 5 or 6. It's much wider. One thing that might get a little uncomfortable today is because we're going to be on the ferry all the way until tonight. We'll have the heat of the day all day long. So they have like these little curtain shades they drop down to at least block the direct sunlight. That also means decreasing the airflow. So it's going to be, probably 88 degrees Fahrenheit. And, as humid as it ever is, with very little airflow, which isn't ideal, but that's okay. It's alright. But I'm always surprised at how well my body adapts to it. At first, you think, oh, this is miserable. I can't survive it. But very quickly, it's like your body adapts. Your body knows what it needs to do. Figures out how to regulate itself. Having my second instant coffee here because honestly the first one's kind of fire, so might as well have another, might as well enjoy this journey. It's about 9 o'clock now. Like I said earlier, still a long ways to go. I think we're maybe nearing halfway, it's hard to tell. Yeah, so far so good. I'm having a great time. Just been hanging out, listening to music, watching the ocean. Look at
this ferry pretty much since the last one. But the one thing that obviously for like most Americans, Europeans and whatnot, that's different than what we're used to is you don't actually flush the toilet. There's a faucet here. You fill the bucket and you hand flush it. You just pour water in it, and that will just manually flush it. Also, I've got my skin peeling to heck right now because I got super burnt that day I went kayaking with Frederick, and yeah, it's all just starting to peel off right now, which isn't ideal, but hey, that's how it goes.
I gotta say, today's ferry ride has been very comfortable so far. The temperature is literally perfect. It's not too hot out. There's a nice breeze out there, and it's just been, the perfect environment to chill out, read my book, which is something I keep wanting to do while traveling, but just haven't had many great opportunities because usually I just end up chatting with people. But this has been the perfect time to just relax, read my book, and still have many more hours to go. Probably another, 8-10 hours still, but it's going very well. I'm very happy it's not too hot out because I was worried it might be miserably hot, but it is not the case at all. It's just about perfect. 1 liter down so far. Gotta stay hydrated, That's something I'm very intentional about when I'm traveling, because not staying hydrated is a good way to get sick. I didn't know they were going to serve a third meal here. Looks like a chicken wing and some rice. So I just bought a little cup of noodle thing there because I was getting pretty hungry, but looks like I've got both to eat now, which I'm not upset about. All right, after about 26 hours on that ferry from the time we boarded to the time we got off, we have finally made it to Manila. It's about 10:30 right now. It's pretty chaotic getting off the ferry there. There's people everywhere trying to get you rides. So I just ordered a bike, walked up the street here waiting for my ride, and then I'll be off to Limelight Hostel. And here we are, home sweet home at the Limelight Hostel.